My name is Andy, and this is the most magical podcast on earth as part of the Secret Recordings Network with brand new episodes every other week, although this episode is slightly late. Thank you for your patience. And also, you probably noticed it is slightly different because this episode is coming to you from Walt Disney World. And right now, I am standing at Disney's Boardwalk on a beautiful Florida afternoon. The temperature is slightly chilly, but there is not a cloud in the sky. You might just hear a little bit of Christmas music playing in the background. You might hear the friendship boats going past outside the Boardwalk and the Yacht and Beach Club, because this episode is a trip report from my Christmas visit, my few days in the Walt Disney World, experiencing everything, well, almost everything that we've got on offer for Christmas. There will be a top tip on this episode, which is very, very valuable because it could mean the difference between you going to Orlando or being refused entry into America. More about that in just a moment. I will do the top tip at the beginning of the episode rather than the end because it's really important. We've also got some big news at the end of this episode, and make sure you like and subscribe and subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss an episode. There is another one to come before the end of the year, and also follow us on the socials at Pod Magical is where we are, where you can see all the pictures from this trip of mine to Walt Disney World. So first up, let me give you the top tip. Let me start with the top tip. So rather than being the end, I'm going to do it now because I almost didn't make it to Walt Disney World. I arrived at Heathrow Airport in plenty of time for my flight, thankfully. Flying with Virgin Atlantic from Heathrow at 1 o'clock. Got to Heathrow Airport just after 8 o'clock in the morning. Went to check in because it wouldn't let me check in online for some strange reason. Well, actually, I found the reason when I went to try and check in online. It is because my ESTA wasn't valid. Now, I thought I was like the king of organisation. I'd even printed off my ESTA that doesn't expire until next September. However, I changed my passport. I had a new passport just a few months ago, which meant I had to get a new ESTA. So, top tip for this episode, make sure firstly you have an ESTA, which is your visa to get you in America. They last for 2 years, but your ESTA is connected to your passport, not to you. So even though I thought I had a valid ESTA till next September, I needed a new one. So if a couple of weeks ago you were in Heathrow Airport and you saw somebody manically checking their emails, that was me. Because at 8 o'clock in the morning, just a few hours before my flight, I had to apply for a new ESTA, because until I had that ESTA, I wasn't checking in for that flight, and until I checked in, I wasn't coming to America. So it took about 90 minutes. It was about 15 minutes to apply online, and then it was 90 minutes later before I got that email to say my ESTA had been approved. So that was linked to my booking and I could actually check in. Major panic. I almost didn't make it for this trip, but I'm here. I am at Boardwalk, as I said, right now, experiencing everything or almost everything for Christmas at Walt Disney World. One thing I haven't experienced, because it only starts in a few days' time, although by the time you hear this podcast, it will have started, and that is the Festival of the Holidays at Epcot. So Epcot is starting to get very festive. Right now, when I am, it's actually the last couple of days of the Food and Wine Festival. So Festival of the Holidays starts around Thanksgiving time, of which time I won't be in Walt Disney World, but you can catch the world famous candlelight processional with some very famous celebrity narrators telling the nativity story. Also, there's more food booths, there's the cookie stroll, there's an incredible gospel choir, and you can walk around the World Showcase, finding out how different countries celebrate Christmas. So Festival of the Holidays is one thing you can do at Walt Disney World, but that only is from Thanksgiving up to the day before New Year's Eve. Brilliant thing to do. I did it a few years ago, and it is a fantastic, magical, especially the candlelight processional. It's just a beautiful thing to experience, and it is a big Walt Disney World tradition. Other things over at Animal Kingdom, you can catch the Merry Menagerie, that is up and running. There's Christmas decorations there as well. Obviously the wind has just picked up. If you can hear something clacking in the background, it's it's a flag post has just started hitting. So the Merry Menagerie at Animal Kingdom, and also if you manage to stay there at night, Tree of Life Awakens. The problem is that Animal Kingdom closes quite early at like 6-7 o'clock, and it's only really starting to go dark around then. But if you manage to hang on for the rest of the night, You'll see Tree of Life Awakens, but the Merry Menagerie and all the lights, and Epcot, Animal Kingdom at night is so beautiful with the lights on, but you don't really get to see it much these days. So that's what's happening over at Animal Kingdom. The big 2 parks for Christmas. Firstly, let's talk about Hollywood Studios. I've always loved the holidays at Hollywood Studios. I love the kind of like old school, slightly chintzy decorations they have. I love Gertie, their little Christmas hat and the bauble hanging out of her mouth. Also, during the day, Hollywood Studios have added a few little Christmas twists. There's a few marching bands playing Christmas music. There's also some acrobats who do plate spinning with Donald Duck. You can catch those just at normal times at Hollywood Studios. And also the Frozen sing-along has got a little bit of Christmas twist on the end of it where it snows inside. Spoiler alert. But also over at Hollywood Studios, something they started last year, they brought back for this year, but they've enhanced it, is Jollywood Nights. Now, I didn't go last year, and it was a little bit of a disaster from what I saw. This year, they've really upped the game at Jollywood Nights, and it is a great after-hours event. It's not on every night, it's only on select nights. It's a couple of $100 to go. Included in that are some shows. There is a brilliant show featuring Kermit and Miss Piggy, and as a fan of the Muppets, I love that. You also get Tiana and Belle and Mickey and Minnie doing some songs. There's a live band on there. That happens where the Beauty and the Beast Theatre is. And my plan for the night was to do that show and a couple of the other shows at the end of the evening. So there's the Holidays in Hollywood, which is called with Kermit and Miss Piggy. There's also a new little ice skating show, which is about 15 minutes long outside the Chinese Theatre, which was quite cute. There's also the sing-along, Nightmare Before Christmas sing-along, which is where they do the Frozen sing-along. So they're the 3 shows. There's also a live band outside the Tower of Terror, again, very good. So my plan was to do the shows towards the end of the evening. They also show Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam, which is a huge fireworks, pyrotechnic Christmas show that happens at 10 o'clock every night. It used to be included as normal at Hollywood Studios as part of their Christmas experience. That kind of stopped at COVID, so the only time now you can get Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam is if you get a ticket for Jollywood Nights. Also, having seen the original Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam, I think there's less pyrotechnics. There didn't seem as many. So that happens at 10 o'clock every night. So my plan was the party starts at 7 to do Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam at 10 and then the shows after that, and spend the rest of the evening snacking and meeting characters. There are some exclusive characters, including Santa Stitch and Santa Duffy. Now, from what I saw from the first couple of parties, the big queues are for those 2 characters. The queues can get an hour and a half, and bear in mind it's only a 5-hour party. That could be a quarter of your time at a party queuing to meet one character. So my plan was to get in early, 6 o'clock, get in line to meet Duffy, which I did. The line then opened. Duffy started his meet and greet at 7:30 at the start of the party. So within 10 minutes I'd met Duffy and I was out. Met Duffy, and as I was walking through Hollywood Studios, the ice skating show was about to start. There wasn't a massive crowd, so I managed to watch that. And then I went down to the Tower of Terror for the Tip Top Club soiree to watch the band down there. So I'd already ticked off a couple of things I wanted to do earlier on in the evening, just because I was passing, which meant later on in the evening when I was going to do the shows, I got to meet even more characters. So actually, my plan of what I wanted to do at Jollywood Nights, I did, and then some. My overall thought of Jollywood Nights, it's great. It is a little bit more of a adult, sophisticated Christmas party, very different to Mickey's Very Merry. I'd say to get the most out of it, you need to budget to buy some snacks and some cocktails and have a plan if you want to meet characters. You can also do the rides. The rides were pretty quiet throughout the night, but I don't think people were there to do the rides. And I think if you want to just get on the rides really quick, I wouldn't spend money on a ticket for Jollywood Nights. If you're here when there's an after hours, you could do that. It's not a good use of money, I don't think. But if you want to really get in the Christmas spirit and see the shows and the entertainment and meet some characters, I really enjoyed Jollywood Nights. Would I do it again now that I've done it? I don't think so. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party I've done a few times, and I did on this trip, and that I would do again. Let's talk about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. That happened on select nights over Christmas, over at Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom, which is very Christmassy anyway. You still get the Christmas decorations, and you also get to see the lighting of the castle. That happens anyway. But as part of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, They've got the parade, which happens twice a night with the soldiers and the reindeer and the characters. Also, you get the Christmas fireworks, you get a castle show, you get some dance parties. So yes, there is a lot, and you get free cookies. Well, I say free, you've already paid for your ticket, but cookies and hot chocolate are included as well, and it snows on Main Street. Having done Mickey's Very Merry a few times, I would come back. I did come back just to watch the fireworks and the parade and the shows. Didn't really have a plan to meet characters this time. Again, that can get very, very, very busy if you want to meet characters. Managed to do a few rides. There's some Christmas overlays on the rides that they only have at Mickey's Very Merry. So the teacups have a little bit of a Christmas overlay. You can also do Space Mountain in the dark with some Christmas music on. But yeah, again, it's really good. If you are coming just to do the rides, probably not the best use of money, even though the rides are a bit quiet. I did feel that Mickey's Very Merry was a lot busier than Jollywood night, but whether that's because they just managed to sell more because it is more of a popular event and people haven't really cottoned on to Jollywood nights yet. So that was, in a nutshell, Christmas in the parks. There's other things to do at Walt Disney World over the holiday time. You can pop over to Disney Springs and catch the Christmas tree stroll, or the decorated Christmas trees with different themes. There's a Disney Plus, there's a Star Wars, there's a Mickey and Minnie, there's a Moana 2 Christmas tree. They are spreading out throughout Disney Springs. Over at all the resorts, they've all got Christmas trees and Christmas decorations. A lot of the resorts have gingerbread houses as well. Everybody thinks about the gingerbread house at Grand Floridian, which is incredible, and as soon as you walk into Grand Floridian you can smell it. It is an actual house with a shop inside, so that's definitely worth going to visit. But also a lot of the other resorts as well. Boardwalk, where I am now, I've just been to see the gingerbread house they have. They've got a gingerbread boardwalk deli, where again, just like a Grand Floridian, you can buy some gingerbread or a hot chocolate. Over at the beach club, they've got a gorgeous carousel, a gingerbread carousel that moves. There's a little train in a village over at the yacht club. Over at Animal Kingdom, they have got a gingerbread giraffe that you can go and see. Contemporary Resort, they've got a very contemporary-esque gingerbread house, a replica of the castle, so you can go and see that as well. And generally just catch the atmosphere and the smells of everything Christmassy at Walt Disney World. There is so much to do, so if you are planning, maybe you're getting to come this year before Christmas, or maybe you're planning to go next year, Christmas is definitely my favourite time at Walt Disney World, without a doubt. So pop it on your list if you've never done it. And if you want to come just after Thanksgiving, that week or two after Thanksgiving before the Christmas rush starts, that's quite a nice quiet time. And outside of Disney World, Universal, a lot of Christmas things happening there as well. They've got the Macy's Parade. Again, another brilliant Christmas parade that they do over at Universal every year. I've done that a few times. I would suggest if you're going to do that, if you want to see the Christmas parade at Universal, friendship boat just going past, Christmas parade at Universal, I would stand outside Jimmy Fallon's by the Christmas tree, because when the parade comes past, it will pause there and Santa will switch on the Christmas lights. So that's a good little spot to watch the Christmas parade. You can catch the Grinch show as well. You can even meet the Grinch. Again, there's cookies and there's food for Christmas over at Universal, so lots happening at Universal. If you're a Harry Potter fan, there's a special light show on the castle, on Hogwarts Castle, at the end of the night. SeaWorld have got some great events for Christmas, including a retelling of the Christmas story that's got a gospel choir and actual live animals. 3 actual camels come in over at SeaWorld. They've got a great ice skating show as well for Christmas, and they've got Christmas fireworks. Again, a recommendation if you're going to do Christmas over at SeaWorld, catch the final ice skating rink. They do it in the Bayside Arena. So the ice rink is actually on the lake, so you can sit down, watch the ice show, and at the end of the ice show, stay seated, you're ready for the fireworks. Yeah, you can watch the fireworks without standing there for half an hour waiting, and you've got a seat. Brilliant. And of course, there's all the other hotels. Gaylord Palms over at Orlando, they've got some great Christmas events as well. There's a huge walk-through ice display. Lots happening at Florida, in Orlando for Christmas, and the weather is great. It's not cold and wet like it is at home. Well, it's a little bit chilly, but today, clear blue skies. Absolutely gorgeous. I am going to go and get myself hot chocolate now. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast at Podmagical on all the socials is where we are. And I did say I would end this episode with a big announcement. There is one more episode to come in less than 2 weeks' time, so please be ready for that one. Great episode coming up before the end of December. And next year, I've got a big birthday coming up. As part of that, I'm going to become a member of the Six Castles Club. Yes, I've already been to Paris. Yes, I've already been to Orlando, obviously, and to California. However, next year, I'm going to do all those three again, along with the Eastern parks. Next year, I am going to visit every single Disney World park within the 12 months, starting very soon, actually, because I'm spending New Year's Eve at Disneyland Paris. So I can wake up on the 1st of January at my first castle. A few weeks after that, I'm going to be heading over to California for my birthday, and then a little trip to Aulani. So there is so much happening next year. The podcast might be slightly different. We'll still have regular guests. So if you'd like to be a guest next year, do drop me a line at PodMagical. Follow us on the socials. You can see all the pictures from this trip. I'll upload pictures of the gingerbread houses and the trees and the party, so you can see everything that I've been talking about. If you've got any questions, do drop me a message as well. I can answer those on social if you're coming for Christmas or you're planning on coming for Christmas. We will be back in less than 2 weeks with a brand new episode. Friendship Boat. Until then, please stand clear of the doors.